So balance. The first thing here, guys, is I'm going to just hop right in. So remember, ask your questions along the way. Balance is a total hot lie. It's a total hot lie. I live with like no balance in my body. So I'm going to start off with that. So I'm constantly having to shift and adapt my body. I've had spine surgery. I've got like pretty much a dead leg. So I'm constantly having to shift. And when I think about how I do that, it's really adapting with where I'm at. If I'm sitting, if I'm standing, if I've been watching a movie, if I've been driving on the car, and you're like, where the hell is she going with this? It's your life. Like that's totally like your seasons of life. You're constantly having to shift. You might be in a hot project at work right now where all your attention needs to go to work. You may be reestablishing a relationship and working on your marriage, and you need to put everything into that. Maybe you just had a baby, like somebody in the group, and you're trying to figure out how to be a mom again all over from the start while you're working on your career and your fitness and all of those things. So there's really no such thing as balance. It's really shifting. And once you can learn to adapt and be flexible, because I used to not be adaptable and flexible, I was like all the way hot or all the way cold. There's nowhere in between. So if that resonates with you, I want you to start thinking about how balance is really just being able to shift through the seasons and the present moments of your life. And if you guys don't know me yet, you're going to know I love questions and lists. All right. So you've got to ask yourself the hard questions. You have to answer the powerful ones, or vice versa. So the first one is really, you've got to start with your values. And while we're not talking about values today, it's one thing that I need you guys to ask yourselves is what your values are. All right. What fills you up, or it brings you joy. But another way to look at it is what makes you angry. Because if you know what makes you angry and ticks you off, then you're going to know what you need. Okay. You're going to know what you need, what you're missing, what you're lacking. And that's kind of where you need to focus and shift your attention to at that time. So what are your values? And don't list it, I think last time we talked about like 10. I really want you guys to think about just like your top 3 or 4 values. Is it family? Is it love? Is it money? Is it success? Is it acknowledgement? Is it prestige? Is it traveling? What is it for you? And then what are those things that fill you up, that bring you joy, you're excited to do every single day? We don't have to drag your ass out of bed. And then what makes you angry? What are you missing? What are you seeking? You really have to ask yourself the hard questions. All right. Because those are going to become the baselines for all your decisions. They're going to become the baselines for how we get balance in your life. And you're only going to do that by setting standards and boundaries. And we'll be talking about in that second. So we're really not even going to spend a lot of time on balance. It's really just defining. You've got to define what that is for you. So if you know what your values are, you know that from now on, whatever those, write them on a sticky note. Top 3 things, every decision you make, go cross-check it. Like that is now like your executive, like power of attorney is your values. Think of it like that. No decision gets made, no choice gets made without going by, does it fit my values? If it doesn't, no, you don't get to do it. You don't get to think about it. You don't get to maybe it. You don't get to feel guilty about it. Just no. Okay. So good. Y'all don't get a chance. The answer is always yes. That's one of my coaching principles too. So, all right. So where are you now in life? And we're going to take a look at like what your seesaw looks like. And I swear I've got like isn't that cute? It's so cute. I spend way too much time doing this. So we're going to look at what your seesaw looks like what's on it. And these are just a few of the things I came up with. You can see them on the screen. You're going to be getting this in your PDF, so don't be trying to write them all out. But you can break it up into physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Everything in your life can be broken up into these categories. So where are you at, like physically? Are you spending enough time with self-care and your health and your nutrition, your stress, your sleep? Or are you doing all those nasty things at the bottom, right? Because we all do them. And if you're not, you're lying. And at least in each coaching session, I call somebody a liar. It's like my signature move. Because you've got to be honest with yourself. So maybe you're spending too much money. Maybe you like gambling. I suck at that. So that would totally not be mine. Maybe you're into sex, and not with, your spouse, or it's a taboo topic. And I actually get to do a podcast next month about it. And I'm so excited. Maybe it's about overeating. Maybe it's junk food, whatever it is. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe it's just being lazy and not keeping a consistent schedule. But think about those things. So when you're looking at your seesaw, kind of write out and I've got this one here too, and you're going to get this, but kind of write out where are you at? Start putting those things and you're going to also get a balance board sheet where it allows you to rate where you're at physically, where you're at mentally, where you're at with your relationships, and where you're at in your faith, and where you're spending that time. So you're going to get this sheet to work on, and you'll be able to rate it like, hey, I'm in a 10 in my finances right now, but shit, I'm not working out and I'm not eating healthy and I'm not prepared. So that's a big fat 0. Or I'm ignoring my family at night because I'm on my phone. Did you know that like sitting next to your family and being on your phone is not being present? I don't care if you've agreed or not that, hey, we're going to do this. Like, that's not being present. That's being dialed into your phone. It's being, maybe you've decided to watch a movie together, but you're holding hands and you're connected. That's more connected than just sitting there playing video games on your phone. So you think of it in that aspect when you're writing out like where you're at. So this is something I want you to take home. I don't want to spend any more time talking about this because it'll take up the whole thing. So before we get to boundaries, I want to stop the screen share just for a second, make sure everybody's in. Does anybody have questions on balance? Like how to figure out, you're going to get the sheet, and I know I haven't given it to you yet, but know your values, right? What makes you happy? What makes you angry? Because if it makes you angry, there's a lot of love there and there's a lot of lack. There's a lot of you're missing something and you need it. What's on your seesaw? Like how much time are you spending at work? And remember, it's a continuous shift. It's always going to be shifting. And what are you willing? Here's the last one. What are you willing to surrender right now? I've got a client right now who is not willing to surrender or give up anything. Guess where she's going to go? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. She's going to be stuck here a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 4 years from now. You have to be willing to rearrange, subtract something, remove something so that you can put in those things that you want. So we're going to teach you how to do that, but you've got to be open to adjusting. You have to be open to adjusting. Okay. Boundaries are so important, guys. This is what protects you. And we could sit and talk about boundaries for like 3 or 4 hours. I was listening to a podcast yesterday about boundaries, but it was really in like personal relationships. Today, I'm talking to you only about boundaries pertaining to yourself, your schedule, your dreams, your goals, you. Not all your relationships, not your trauma from the past, not all of that stuff. This is strictly about your boundaries for you're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to do something. You're trying to unleash something. You want to make something happen. It's already inside you. You already know it exists. We're not trying to dig it out and figure that out. That's a whole nother coaching session. You know you want something. How the F do you get it? I totally caught myself there, didn't I, Candace? How do you get it? You get it by setting. You get it by setting. That is patience and practice and self-control right there in real time. You get it by setting boundaries that protect you first with your values. So again, go back to your values. It's going to protect you being unaligned, misaligned, out of balance if you know where you need to set it. So the first exercise, figure out the values, where you're at on your seesaw. Then boundaries are going to be what protects you. So I'm going to use my cats, for example, because I have 2 cats, but a lot of people have dogs and they have a fence, right? Well, my cats, I used to not let them outside because why? I want to protect them in the house. I don't want them to get hit by a car. I don't want them to get attacked by a raccoon and get rabies. I don't want them to get hurt or bit by a snake. Well, eventually after the crying, I eventually had to let my cats go. But I kept them inside to protect them. We keep dogs inside a fence to protect them. We put up baby gates to protect them. So I want you to start thinking about boundaries as protection. It's not a punishment to somebody else. It's not a punishment to your family or your husband or your wife or your best friend or your coach. It's not even a punishment or a big middle finger to your boss. It's protecting everything about you so that you can keep your integrity. All right. So if we can agree to that, if we can't agree to that, we're not going to go anywhere forward. You're going to stay stuck. It's also going to protect your emotions, because if you're out of line with your values and your integrity, guess how you're going to feel? You're going to be a hot mess. You're going to be angry. You're going to be frustrated. And then guess what you're going to go do? Then you're going to go do all those things: the laziness, the overeating, the spending, the lying, the cheating, not being in your Bible, not having faith, not praying, not staying consistent, not being prepared, not being consistent, not having the endurance to go on when life happens. So it all ties together. So that's the first one. This is my favorite one. All right. Say no so you can say yes. This is one of the first things you have to learn. no is an answer. And you're going to get this. You don't have it right now, but I'm going to go over them like rapid fire because there's a bunch of different ways that we can say no. And we're going to do that in a second. But saying no is so you can say yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, yes to your goals, yes to your body, yes to your health, yes to your integrity. But if you keep saying yes to everybody else and all their problems and all the projects they want you to do, all the clients that are high maintenance and completely out of line, it's because, don't hit me for this one, and I said hit, it's because, Bobby's coming back in, you've trained them that way. You've completely trained them that way. You've trained them to treat you that way. So you got to take responsibility for that. Now we get to retrain them, and we retrain them by setting new boundaries. That means if you already know your plate is full, I have a client right now who took on a new job, went on a big vacation, switched schedules, then took on a big, huge, like financial commitment, took on like 5 things, 2 days after she told me she was completely burnt out, exhausted, and her plate was too full. So what do you think? Is it working out, Bobby? I don't know if she can hear me or not. Maybe.
She's still connecting to audio.
Okay,
it might be her
okay.
Wi-Fi.
Sorry, we just got it for all of you rest in the group. We got somebody that's trying to connect. She's good. All right. So don't take, my point is, and now she's drowning. She's drowning. She went from treading water to drowning because she kept taking on more things, even though you're already exhausted and burnt out. I've said it once. I'll say it again, like 10 billion more. Being burnt out is a choice. It is a total choice. Anybody else that is telling you something else is lying. You are choosing. Everything you do is a choice, and you are choosing to be burnt out if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're taking on too many projects, if you keep saying yes to things that you actually want to say no to. Start saying no. It is okay to say no. It is okay for you to be a priority, and it's okay for you to have not disagreements, but different opinions and different outlooks and different perspectives than other people, right? Whether this is in the workplace, personally, professionally, wherever. So we've got to learn how to do that. And I'm going to give you some really good takeaways so that you know how to do that. You got to know what your new boundaries are going to be. So what are they going to be? Maybe for somebody that already has their plate full, do you think it's a good idea to take on something new? No, it's not. That'd be one of those dumb things that I tell you on your list, do less stupid stuff, right? That'd be a really stupid thing to take on if you're already overwhelmed. Let me just go ahead and add one more thing to the plate. All right. It's not Thanksgiving. Okay. You don't get to keep going back for seconds and overflowing the plate. I love using that one. All right. Look at your plate. What's on there? Go back to your seesaw with the balance. What are going to be your new boundaries, right? So you've got to determine that. And the only way you can determine what your new boundaries are is if you know where you need to spend more time, attention, and energy, and where you want that balance. Like, where are you lacking it? Let's say you're lacking it in your relationships with your loved one at home, and you feel disconnected in your marriage or with your kids. Guess what you got to do? You got to shut off work. Yeah, like put your phone away and stop at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I don't care what time it is, but you have to turn it off. It's a choice. If you're not, you can't say because my boss, it's bullshit. You've trained your boss that way. Nobody has the right to come into your home at night and take away that time from you with the people that have chosen to love you and be with you, especially your children. So if you need to increase that time that you get with your kids, you have to set a new boundary, and you have to go in there, and we'll talk about how to communicate that in a nice way. So you don't go in there like a big old bee or a, you know what, and be like, hey, I'm done working at 7 p.m., blah, 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 blah. There's a way that we do it with tact, all right, with direction, with communication in person. There's a way to handle crucial conversations like that. And your non-negotiables, you got to know what your non-negotiables are. You have to, only you know what your deal breakers are. Only you know. So you've got to define what those are. And like I said, this isn't something that you're going to do today. This is something that you're going to have to, I'm going to come back to this. It's something that you're going to have to think about, simmer in, sit in it for a while, and then come back to it. And here we're going to skip this because we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you examples of how to do clear communication, and you're going to need to expect resistance, right? Which you're like, oh shit, now those ugly butterflies are inside me. And how am I going to go have this hard conversation with my boss or my leader or my best friend or my kids or my husband or my wife? Like, how am I going to do this? They're going to get so upset and it's going to cause an argument. And then a lot of people want to flee and they don't want to argue. We're not doing it to argue. We're doing it to resolve and to come to a solution that has benefits for all parties involved. And this is a totally different coaching session. But let me tell you something, if you need to have a crucial conversation with somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, personally or professionally, if that's taking up an attention bubble in your mind, your energy and your time and all your thought process is going into having that conversation, it's actually a positive thing. It means that you want a solution, you want a resolution, you want a positive outcome that benefits both. It means you care, it means you're invested, it means you have feelings about it. If you don't want to have that conversation, you've already checked out. So you might as well go ahead and cross that off your list of things you're trying to control because you've already let it go and checked out. Just let it go. That's a whole nother coaching session. So here's how we're going to start to maintain some integrity, how we're going to communicate clearly and directly with our new boundaries. All right. First of all, you got to say them out loud. So here's some different ways that you can do it. I've already told you it's okay to say no. No is an answer. A lot of us say no, and then we say why. You don't stop, just stop. You don't have to. It's no. It's like when people say I'm sorry when they bump into you in the store. I hate that. If you ever see me and you bump into me and you say I'm sorry, please don't. Excuse me. You know, not I'm sorry. What? You didn't do anything wrong. It was an accident. So stop explaining yourself. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. It's okay to be assertive. It's okay to speak your truth. It's okay to be bold and confident about it. You don't have to be, a jerk about it. And it's with tact and the way you present things in your tone of voice. I had a boyfriend for like 10 years, but this was like way back in where I met him in high school. And, we did that whole long little thing. Anybody else have one like that? And we used to yell and scream and fight, and he was Hispanic and I'm totally not. And oh my God, we just yelled and screamed at each other and we had none. And he used to always tell me, Robin, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Still, that is in my head since I was 15. It's not what you say, it's how you said it. So we have to be careful how we talk to people, but it's also okay. Not now, thank you. I appreciate the offer, maybe next time. Right now I'm focusing on this, I've got to decline. That sounds awesome, but it's not in my budget right now. I don't have time in I'm already committed to something else. I'll pass. I don't like to do that. I really don't care for that. This isn't a conversation I like to be a part of. So I'll see you guys later. Or then you can also give examples of what you would prefer to do instead. When someone asks you what would you like to do? And you say, I don't care. Tell them what you want to do. Actually tell them what you would like to do. Don't beat around the bush. Don't wait for them to tell you what they want to do or offer you a bunch of solutions and then don't give them no, everything. You actually tell them what you want to do. This is how you build the confidence to set new boundaries in your life, guys. If somebody's getting on to you about being a priority, this goes to our schedule a lot, whether it's working out or it's a work thing or it's a social commitment or it's a function that you have to go to, but you don't really want to. It's a charity thing or a nonprofit. So you're like, oh, it's for the church, I must do it. One of the best things recently, I hadn't been going back to church. This was a while ago. I'm back. My butt is back in the seat now because someone gave me permission that's all I had to do right now for the church. I was shying away because I got used to doing it at home and then I was sick and then this happened because life keeps happening. But I still had this calling on my heart. I need to serve. I need to do this. I need to volunteer. I should be doing this, but I have no more room on my plate, none whatsoever. So I felt guilty about it. So what do? First of all, you got to be honest about it and you got to communicate it. So you've got to communicate. Communication is so important in everything that you do. You cannot be afraid to speak your mind and speak your heart. You are not wrong. You are being authentic and you are being unique to who you are. So I got permission. You don't need to serve right now. You don't need to volunteer. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is get your butt back in the seat. So that's all I did. And then guess what? A couple of weeks later, I had time on my schedule. I got to volunteer. Time on my schedule again. I got to serve again. Time on my schedule. It opens up the door for you when you're honest. So start there. It's not my job to fix you. A lot of people, if your friend calls you up, I recently started doing this one. Do you have 5 minutes right now? I need to vent. You got 5 minutes for me right now. Instead of just dumping on your friend, don't expect them to always have time or that they want to hear it. They might be going through something. I don't have time for that right now. We can talk on Friday or we'll meet to go walk in the park. Ask permission before you dump on somebody. Ask permission before you take up their time. It shows respect for them. And in return, they're going to give it to you next time they need to come back to you for something. I hope that makes sense to somebody. I don't know why it was just on my heart to say that one. Setting boundaries. I used to not have any at all with clients. You can call me 24/7. And boy, did they. I would get messages at 1 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. They would expect, can you talk right now? Call me anytime. And then I had no boundaries as a coach, a mentor, a friend. And I told all my stuff. This was years ago. I used to tell all my stuff, all my drama, all my venting. Tighten your circle, set your boundaries, protect yourself, protect your dreams, guard your heart. So stop telling your stuff to everybody, set boundaries that way as well. So these are a lot of different examples here. Here's a good one for work. You have a confirmation, you have a call coming up with somebody, let's say in 2 or 3 days, but you're not sure, they haven't confirmed yet. Go ahead and assume the confirmation. Assume, I'm so excited. Send them a message. Send them a voice message. One of the greatest things you can do in conveying what you want, instead of text messaging and typing, do a voice memo. Let them hear your tone of voice. Let them hear your pitch. Let them hear your energy. And then they can text back to you. But if you want something from somebody, or you want to give to somebody, you want to serve somebody, you want them to know, voice message it out real quick. It goes a long way rather than just texting it. They're going to hear you. They're going to absorb it better. But tell them, I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'll be there at 10 a.m. This is the outcome I'd like to happen. Then they're going to respond to you. If you just say, are we still on for Thursday at 10? Chances are they're going to say, no, something came up. Can we reschedule? And then that's going to piss you off, because now you got to rearrange your whole schedule. You were looking for the outcome. And then now guess what? You've broken the boundary of integrity with yourself, because now you got to go back, rework your schedule. You don't get the outcome that you wanted in the time frame that you wanted to. And then it's still sucking up your time, your energy and your attention, and you can't focus on anything else. So start that way. I would like, when you're asking for a project, or you're asking for something, or you're asking for a confirmation, right? It's just like an RSVP. Anybody else hate it when nobody RSVPs for your stuff? Like, you're doing that so you can make plans to move forward. I would like an answer by 3 days. I needed an answer in a week. That way they know what your boundaries are. And this can apply personally or professionally. You can't commit. You don't have to say, I can't commit because I can't commit to that right now. It's really that simple. It takes so much pressure off. And once you do it once, guys, it's so much easier to do it after that. It's okay for us to, that's a different point of view. It's okay for us to agree or disagree, agree to disagree. It's okay. If more people in the world knew that right now, that it was okay to disagree and have different points of view, I respect that point of view. I never thought of looking at it that way. It's a different way. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Can we change the subject? That way you don't get mad, you don't start to get angry, you don't, the butterflies, I call them the ugly butterflies, and so when they start to fester and you're like, start to get anxious and have a panic attack, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill this person. The best quote today I just heard, I'm listening to John Taffer's new book, the moment you yell, you lose. The moment you yell, if you can see it, you lose. You can't let that stuff fester inside. So it makes me, this topic doesn't interest me. And we just did a really great workshop last week with Steve Hopper for Colors of Influence on different personality types. I'm the type of personality where if it doesn't interest me or my mission or my passion, I'm out the door. I'm not going to sit there and listen to it. And it's not that I'm being rude. That's not where my attention and my energy is going to go to. There's different types of people. It's why you have different types of people in your circle and your friendships and in your office. You got to have different leaders on your team. You have to develop your staff differently. If it's a topic that you're not willing to discuss, that's not something I want to talk about. Let's move on. It's that simple. You don't have to explain yourself. We spend more time on the anxiety of how we're going to explain something than just simplifying it. Less is more. Simplify it. No, thank you. Not right now. Maybe next time. That doesn't interest me. I'll see you later. I gotta stick to my schedule. Peace out. I say that all the time when I had my ladies in my home studio doing workouts. I love you guys, but peace out. I got a schedule to get to. I got goals. I got dreams. I got things to do, impact, influence, inspire. I got to read. I got to study. Talking's not going to get me there. Doesn't mean I don't love you and I don't care about you and I don't want to socialize. But those other things are more important because they're what I value right now. All right, so hopefully you're going to get these things in your PDF and your work. Like, these are just some of the things, just some of them. All right, so back to the boundaries, just to recap really quickly, you've got to go back to your values. All right, in order to start saying yes to yourself, you've got to say no to things that don't serve you, don't involve you. They are not, it is not your responsibility to carry other people's problems. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your kids. They have got to learn to figure it out themselves. You can be there for them with permission, but you do not have to carry on their burdens. It's not your responsibility. Surrender them to God and let Jesus take the wheel. Set new boundaries. What are your new boundaries based on where you want more balance in your life or more shifting in your life? Right now, I'm not going to lie. My fitness has taken a back seat. My self-care has taken a back seat. I've gone from like 25,000 steps a day and 3 workouts a day to 12,000 steps, 15,000 steps a day and 1 workout. And it's okay because right now I'm spending more time shifting into the season that involves my butt planted in this chair. But I started feeling like it's taking a toll on me last night. So I know I need to shift back gears a little bit into, Robin, you got to get back onto your fitness more. Then you can write, then you can do this, then you can do that. And that's time blocking. And we'll get into that later. What are your non-negotiables? For me, it's stressed out family stuff. Extended family stuff for me are non-negotiables. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to put myself in the situation to get stressed out just because it's my parents. And that may sound horrible, but I can't. I've created a family of my own that's very peaceful and calm for me. And I have an extended family that causes me a lot of stress and turmoil and tension. And then the angry guy from inside out comes out of me. And that's Turbo. And Turbo, boy, we'll talk about that in another one. So what is that thing that like bubbles inside of you where you feel like you're going to explode? Those are going to be your non-negotiables. All right. People keep asking you the same thing over and over again, expecting you to eventually cave in and say yes. That's a boundary you need to set. And you're going to have to train them because they're going to resist you because you've trained them that eventually she'll say yes. Eventually mom will give in. Eventually, oh, they'll just answer the calls. Dale answered a call for work on our vacation a couple weeks ago. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, oh, it's just a quick text message. It's just a quick phone call. I'm like, no, it's not, because now you're thinking about work. And now they know that you'll answer the phone at work when you're on vacation for work. They know that they can reach you. So you've got to retrain that these are my new boundaries. I'm on vacation and you don't go on vacation, and we'll go into that with the end here. Oh, I'll just work a little on vacation. Be on vacation. I have a client that's gone right now who wanted all this information before she went so she could work on it while she's on vacation. My advice to her as her coach, be on vacation. You don't need to work on. I don't even care if you're on the airplane, you're sitting in the airport where you don't need to be thinking about all of these feelings and emotions and things that you need to do. You need to be in the present moment. And then that goes to maintaining the integrity with yourself, which is your values, the promises you keep making to yourself, the dreams that are dying inside of you, literally dying inside of you. Time is not promised, not promised. So I hope that gives you like some ideas of how, and I'm trying to keep time. We're doing good on time because I really want to open this up. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. This is a fun one. Y'all, who was it? It was a sermon. I don't know. I listen to so many sermons and podcasts every single day. It's all that's in my ear. It's part of who I am. I have to wake up and do it. And that's where I want you guys to get, is building these habits that it's just part of who you are. It's what you do. You don't have to be told. You don't have to be reminded. You don't have to check a box. I don't have to listen to a sermon or a podcast on my habit tracking sheet. I just do it. Like I brush my teeth and take a shower. Probably brush my teeth more than I take a shower every day, but I'm just telling the truth right now. Somebody's laughing. What's your story? What is the story you're telling yourself? Woo! We got some thought bubbles. I thought these guys were cute. So you're telling yourself something now, and you're going to get a sheet called the list of lies. My life's a mess. I'm unorganized. I'm ugly. I'm too old. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I don't know how. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough money. I hate that. I can't do that. I suck at that. I'm too shy. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I'm an A student. I'm an average student. I'm a B student. I sucked at school. I suck at tests. I'm terrible at interviews. I'm not good on live camera. I'm better at this than I am at that. I hate technology. Technology sucks. I don't have patience. I don't have enough time. I'm hard to love. I've got too much pain. My knees hurt. My back hurts. My pinky hurts. I'm frazzled. I'm always late. I'm unorganized. I never win. I'm a fraud. I'm mean. I'm stubborn. I'm tough. These are stories that you're telling yourself. Lies. So you're going to write down all your list of lies. These are just some examples. And clearly they're things that I was thinking of. So this one's kind of heavy on the heart. This is where the hard work comes in. What are your lies? I was in an emotionally and physically abusive relationship for quite some time, and it looked so picture perfect on the outside. And it was the emotional part that was way worse, the verbal and the emotional that was way worse than the physical, because the physical wasn't that bad. That's what my counselor would look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? It wasn't that bad. Any type of physical abuse is bad. So if you're there or you've experienced it, any type is bad. Nobody has the right to put hands on you, spit on you, slap you, choke you, hold you down, push you up against a wall, shove you, throw things at you. All right. And if you need help in that situation, let me know. But the lies you hear stay with you. Maybe you heard them as a child. Maybe you heard them in a relationship. Maybe it was from a teacher. Maybe it's because you screwed up and you totally just did the worst thing ever in the world in your eyes. And you keep telling yourself you're that person, so you don't deserve this now. So you got to write out all your lies, every single one of them, everything, and just keep writing them down. Every time you think of another one, keep writing them down. All right. That's how we're going to expose it. And then we're going to look at the positive opposites, and you're going to start leading with love. So the positive opposites of whatever it would be, you know, I don't have enough experience. I can learn and grow. I am capable. I don't have enough money. I will earn the money. How can I create the money? People misunderstand me. I'm going to be more clear in my communication. I'm going to share my emotion, my feelings more, my desires. I'm going to be more direct. I'll never look like that. No, you're going to look like you, but I'm going to spend more time with my physical health and my physical well-being. I don't have patience. I will learn to push pause and breathe. I don't have enough. I have everything I need inside. I am resourceful. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am powerful. God created you beautifully. I get frazzled. I will learn to practice patience. I don't know how. I'll figure it out. I'll teach myself. I'll ask for help. I'm so mean. I'll work on my kindness. I'll be grateful today. I'm lazy. I'm going to be more active today. I'm a squirrel. I'm going to block my time today and work 5 hours of deep work. That's a whole nother productivity hack, which is awesome, because I spent 3 years being a squirrel. Gone. That's why I had to turn into the bird. So those are just different ways, because your bad stories, guys, it's your BS. It's your bullshit. It really is. Your BS is your bad. It's you playing it safe. It is you making excuses. It is you staying stuck. It is you giving yourself permission to not go forward. It's you giving yourself permission to not act. It's you giving yourself permission to be lazy. I'm looking for my little sheet on it that I'm going to give you guys. This can change your whole entire world if you change the story you're telling yourself. And it doesn't matter how long ago or how could it just happened yesterday. But this is your emotional and your irrational thoughts. They are not true. You are capable of absolutely anything. It will change your posture, how you carry yourself, your confidence, your courage. It'll change the way you implement your boundaries. And if you can do that, you're going to have the balance in your life that you want. You're going to be able to shift from season to season to season without getting hit in the face. But it starts with you. It really starts in reverse with your BS. So if I were to tell you we're coaching you through this, we're going to start with your BS. We're going to expose it. You're not going to do it all at once. We're going to pick one, and then we're going to work on it. And then that's going to allow you, oh, well, then this is the boundary I can set to protect that. And then by protecting that and setting that boundary, I now, oh my God, it's the weekend and I didn't work at all. I didn't worry about that client or this client. I didn't have to help my parents. I didn't have to give money to my kids. I didn't have to go into debt for that person. I didn't have to bend over backwards when they called me because they needed me because they didn't have a ride and I just didn't feel like doing it. No, if you need to rest and recover on a weekend, you don't have to go to everything you're invited to. You're not required. All right. So list of lies, all the positive opposites. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stop sharing just for a second because I want to open this up for a second. All of your positive opposites are going to be hard to write down. Hard, like super hard. You're going to spend more time writing down what is true about me rather than what you think is wrong or bad or negative about you. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. So this is what this one, some of y'all already have it, but this is like the balance board that I was talking about. Okay. So you're going to take this sheet and you're basically going to give yourself a scorecard where you're at, faith, relationships. Feel free to write in your own thing. Okay. So if you don't have like one of these things on here and it's not, these are just things that are very common in coaching that we help walk you guys through. Two, they're things that are near and dear to my heart. So I always share that with you guys. And I know I didn't tell you a lot about me for those of you that are new, but join our coaching program and you'll get to know a lot about me. No, I'm teasing. I share my stories all the time on Instagram and on Facebook, and website is coming out next week. I'm super excited about it. We've got like 3 speaking engagements. That's my plug for that. So anyhow, this is basically where you're at in your faith. Are you doing great? Jot some notes down. How are you doing in your relationships? How are you doing in your career? Where are you at with that? Leave the gap for last. What's your desired outcome? Like, do you want to spend more time in the Bible? Do you need to go to church more? Do you need to spend more quality time with your relationships? Wealth, do you need to budget better? Do you need to pay down more debt? Maybe you need to give more. Maybe you need to invest in something else. Passions and dreams. Are you actually living them or are you just effing dreaming? Quit dreaming. Rest and reset. This is a big one. This one's hard for me to rest and reset. Be still, be in the moment. You got to learn to be in the moment. All right. And are you having fun? Are you laughing? Are you having fun? And then the gap. What can you do in the middle here to reduce or add? Where can you rearrange stuff? I really like the word rearrange because it allows you to think, oh, I'm not going to miss out. Because when we say take away or subtract or remove, you're like, oh, I'm going to miss out. I'm not going to be able to drink my wine or socialize with my friends on Friday night. No, we're not saying that. But maybe you shouldn't have wine every night of the week. Maybe you shouldn't have 5 drinks on Friday night. Maybe you should just have 2, right? Maybe you shouldn't go out every single weekend and blow the money and blow the diet and blow the calories and be hungover and feel like crap. Maybe you should just do it once a month, reduce until you decide, I really don't want that anymore. And I'm just using that as an example. It can be spending money. It could be taking on projects. You can't go into your boss tomorrow. Don't go to your boss later today and be like, my coach told me that I don't have to do any more projects. I don't take on any more work. And I'm not going to talk to you after 6 p.m. and F you on Saturday if you need something. Don't be a jerk about it. All right. Can you help people? When you can help people, help people. If you can help people, help people. If you can't, because it takes away from your integrity and your promise to yourself and your schedule and your dreams and your goals, you're allowed to say no. Even if you're a giver and you're a helper and you're a server, you can still say no. Not right now, next time. Ask me in 2 weeks. Put yourself first and your dreams first, because that's your future. Nobody else is going to come in and live that life for you. Start fighting for yourself. So that is that sheet. All right. The other sheet is the boundaries worksheet. I had to change it because I screwed something up on it. You're going to write this out. This is really going to help you kind of break down those boundaries you want to set. Don't be trying to fill out the whole entire thing and write 9 of them out, right? Think about it right on the back of the paper. Like, your boundaries are going to help you do what? What are your boundaries going to help you do? Finish my book, right? Get a TED Talk and speak on, nationally on a public platform, lose 5 pounds, lose 50 pounds. They're going to help me get my stress levels down. I'm going to get off medication that the doctor has me on right now. Oh, they're going to help me start my business. Boundaries are positive. They're reinforcers of your integrity. Boundaries are reinforcers of your integrity with yourself. Okay. So you're going to work on that one, but it's not magic, guys. It's totally not magic. You know this. A lot of you guys already work with me one-on-one, but in case you are not working with me one-on-one or in a small group setting and you want to get there faster, I do have this month. So whether it's for you or it's for your friend or a coworker or somebody, I have a 30-day mindset makeover. This is one-on-one coaching in a nutshell every single week, but we're only working on one thing. That's it, not all of it, just one thing. And you want to get there faster. In 30 days, you want the progress. One breakthrough, one experience, 30 days. All right. So I've got 7 spots for that open. It's $497. You're going to get my fitness app to go with it. That's bonus. It's so awesome that I get to do that now, that it's bonus that you get fitness and nutrition. You get access to my app. You're going to get a power hour plan. So you're going to get more you're going to get 4 one-on-ones with me, plus a plan that is going to take you after those 30 days. We're going to have a plan for you for another 60 days so you can do it on your own. But this is basically somebody that needs clarity. You don't know what your effing dreams are. You want to pursue it, but you don't know how, and you don't have the depth or the boldness or the awareness, and you just want to focus on one thing. So this is great for you. It's one-on-one. It's totally private. Nobody's going to be up in your business but me. And we're going to expose some stuff and we're going to get you there faster. The other one is the Badass Boot Camp. So I have a group of ladies, they're in my inner circle, and we have a long extended badass and brilliant program that goes on for an entire year where we work on things. So you'll get access to that for just 90 days. This is an intensive group. So this is just 90 days. You get 3 one-on-one sessions with me plus weekly coaching. All right, weekly coaching, but this is going to encompass kind of everything that we go over on a fast track. So this is, I've got this dream. I want it to happen. It's going to happen in 90 days. Like, you're bringing something to the table. You know, you want to go there. You know, you can get there. You've got the confidence. You have the clarity. You don't need the depth and the awareness and the boldness to do it. You need the checkpoints. You need the how. You're overwhelmed. You can't do it alone. You need to get there faster, bridge that gap, and you want shit done in 90 days. This program is for you. So there's 2 different ways right now that you can coach with me. Next week, so if you're, this right here is basically for the mindset makeover. It'll take you right to that. So you can just scan that QR code on your phone. Or if you're interested in the badass one, you can scan that QR code on your phone there for that one. This last one here, guys, whoa, what's it doing that? This last one is for you to just have a call with me, totally free on me, 1 session. Now, if you're my private clients, this is not for you today. All right, you already get so many. Some of y'all have already used up some of your calls. Some of you have like 3 more throughout the rest of the year. So yes, these programs would apply to you as well. This is just a discovery call with me. If you're new, you want to work through something on this, schedule a call, okay? And if you are a one-on-one client and you're due for another call, you can go ahead and get on this calendar as well. All right, so those are the different ways that you can work with me right now. Next week, we will be, and you're going to get this whole packet. So don't worry, I'll make sure I have your emails. We're going to get the whole packet. Next week, I'll be going live with my website, robinthrasher.com. It's going to have all my new coaching collections in it, the ways to work with me. These prices will be gone. They won't be there. And if you're a company or a business or you know someone that has a company or business, I'll be going in and helping them professionally with programs, speaking, working on employee wellness programs and coaching collectively that way. So it's going to be super, super exciting. I'm excited about it. And the only reason this is coming to pass is because I figured out what my values were. I established new boundaries, and a lot of people didn't like it at first. And I don't have BS anymore. Well, that's not true. I actually had one today. I had one this morning, and I was starting to compare myself to somebody who is 10 years ahead of me. I was comparing myself to somebody who is 10 years ahead of me in this business. Why in the world would I do that? So if you're comparing yourself, that's the assassin of your self-esteem. Don't compare yourself. Nobody else. Then Stephen Furtick came on my newsfeed and told me, God made me, and nobody else is like me. It was perfect timing. It was divine intervention. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, keep in mind that nobody is you. Nobody's going to bring it to the table better than you can, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. So work backwards. Bad stories. What are they? What are your lies that you're telling? Answer them. Ask the powerful questions, answer the hard questions. It'll change your whole story. Then you know what boundaries to set up. If you don't know the lies, you don't know the boundaries. And then that's going to protect you. Protect whatever it is that you need to be in alignment with, whatever your values are. Do the work. Do the work. What I always say one more thing, right? A lot of you are not going to do the effing work. You took all these notes, you're going to write it down, and you're going to put it away. Do the work. There, I feel better now. I can go eat lunch. Do the work. You just get like dopamine going to your brain. You feel good. You're awesome. Yes, you're motivated. You're so inspired. You're going to go do X, Y, Z right now. Yes, you got this. And then you don't. Do the work. Start with the questions, answer them, do the work. Not all in one day, but do the work. You guys are awesome. You rock. I appreciate you. Like I said, schedule a discovery call with me. If you want to work with me one-on-one, that's a great deal. You're going to get a lot of bonuses. We can talk about it on the discovery call. If you want a group setting and you want to connect with some awesome people, hop on that call as well, and I'll get you signed up for the 90-day boot camp. Otherwise, go have a wonderful day. Don't forget to pray. Peace out. Do the work.